Hey, welcome to another video. So today we're going to be going into the force powers of Starkiller. So let's get straight into it. Even as a child, Galen Merrick, who would later become Starkiller, was already exceptionally powerful in the Force, with immense potential that would have allowed him to become one of the most powerful Force users of all time. His power proved great enough to impress Vader, enough that he risked sparing him to mold him as an apprentice, believing that he had the potential to, alongside Vader, and when at the height of his abilities, to actually defeat Darth Sidious, who was considered the most powerful Dark Lord of the Sith in history. Even Sidious himself acknowledged that Merrick's strength in the Force could rival his own. As a young adult, having been trained extensively to be a living weapon capable of helping Darth Vader defeat Sidious, Merrick became an immensely powerful and proficient Force adept, with his power becoming acknowledged by the Jedi he had faced and defeated, and Vader believing him to be ready to aid him in executing Sidious. While his usage of the Force's combative nature, especially that of the dark side, was outstanding, his solely combative training rendered him unable to use less aggressive Force powers. But after fully turning to the light, he had overcome this limitation, as he had finally become capable of voluntary farsight, which he could not when he was still submerged in the dark side, despite frequent attempts. At the same time, he fully retained his exceptional skill in applying the Force in battle, as shown by his ability to best his former master, and even eventually Sidious himself in single combat. Although when he was using the light side, he seemingly could not defeat the Dark Lord, only match him. Once Merrick got enraged by the revelation that it was Sidious who was his master, he was able to channel the dark side and gain enough power to make short work of the Emperor soon afterwards, although it briefly overrode his self-control to the point that he would have killed Sidious had Coda not stopped him. In his final stand, although it cost him his life, Merrick ultimately managed to overpower the Emperor's full strength by drawing power from his concern for his allies, and unleashed a burst of power that nearly killed both Sidious and Vader, and heavily damaged the Death Star. Merrick's skills with telekinesis were considerable, and he often cleared entire hallways and rooms with powerful Force pushes and repulses, and even caught TIE fighters in mid-flight. Even as a child, he was skilled enough that he managed to disarm Vader of his lightsaber without him even knowing, impressing the Dark Lord. Proficient at telekinetic lightsaber combat, he would often direct his lightsaber to seek out specific enemies and impale them, often killing them instantly. He was even able to redirect fired missiles and ballistics, though through the use of telekinesis, he could, albeit with great effort, change the direction of a falling Imperial Star Destroyer and force it to the ground. In addition, Merrick was also able to use this ability for fine manipulation, such as by dismantling and reassembling his lightsaber during meditation sessions. His telekinetic proficiency was even great enough that, when angered, he was capable of telekinetically overtaking Sidious, easily blasting him off his feet with a powerful Force wave and pushing him against the ceiling of the dome before smashing him to the ground. As a trained Sith apprentice, Merrick became extremely proficient in Force lightning, with his skill rivaling even that of Darth Sidious. He could cast energy so powerful that it would kill an opponent with a single blast, and could target more than one opponent at a time. He was also able to channel lightning attacks through his lightsaber, thus amplifying blade attacks with dark energy. He applied lightning in a more tactical manner, charging up or shortening out certain types of machinery. Furthermore, he could manipulate the technique to generate Sith Seekers, essentially a combination of Force Push and Force Lightning. He was highly proficient in the defensive Force techniques, displaying skill in the use of Force Deflection and Tuda Menace. He was more than capable of aptly deflecting blaster bolts by imbuing his free hand with the Force whenever he could not rely on his lightsaber to protect him. The most prominent display of his outstanding skills in the Force, for defensive purposes, was shown when he was even capable of absorbing the lightning of Darth Sidious, although not without immense effort, and redirecting it back at the Sith Lord, causing Sidious to share the same agonizing pain Merrick was feeling, eventually unleashing all the pent-up Force energy in a devastating explosion that nearly claimed the lives of his enemies and destroyed much of the Death Star. Another power that Merrick had learned during his time as an apprentice was the mind trick. the ability to control the minds of other individuals, especially weak-minded beings. Through this technique, Merrick could compel subjects to do his bidding, ignore his presence, or simply lose consciousness. In battle, he would use this skill to confuse his enemies and spread disorganization and chaos. In addition to his considerable array of techniques, he possessed a version of the Force Speed ability, which enabled him to dart quickly across short distances. So what do you think of Starkiller's abilities? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Sith Citadel Discord, links in the description, and consider becoming a join member or sending a super thanks if you wish to further support the channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.